Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Mulligan. How are ya? Today, we're going to do one of my favorite lessons to teach. I remember as a first grade teacher at Maxfield, I was there for 7 years when I first started teaching in St. Paul. It's where I started my career many years ago. This was the one lesson that I thought was so powerful. And I taught it right away in the school year so kids could get excited about books. Because the real reason we want you to learn to read is because we want you to enjoy it. It's really fun once you start picking up on reading. So today, we're going to learn something called the 5-finger rule, okay? And we're going to read our objective today. I can. Use the 5-finger rule to find the just right book. Find the just right book. And today, I'm going to show you what that looks like. I have a hand that I made. Like I said, I used this 25 years ago, and I love it. And I'm going to start telling you how to use the 5-finger rule when you're choosing the right book. And today, I'm going to read that to you, and then I'm going to show you how we do it with 3 different books. I'm going to choose a just right book, an easy book, and a too hard book to show you what it looks like. So, today, when we read number 1, it says, open your book to any page. So you pick any page of the book that you want to try this with. Then you're going to read all the words on the page. Every single word you're going to read. Every time you miss a word, you're going to hold your finger up. Okay? And you're going to make sure you keep it up till you're all done with that page. And then you know how many words that you have missed. And then the last part is you're going to remember from this 5-finger rule if it's too easy, just right, or too hard. That's the 5-finger rule. So when we look at our thumb and we look at this thumb, it says one word is okay, which means that it's probably maybe just right, or it might be just a little bit too easy. Because if you read a book and you're not missing anything and you have 0 words you missed, that means it's way too easy. 1 could mean it's way too easy or it's okay. You can get a warm-up with that and try it and then read another book. But that means you're on the brink of, oh, maybe this is too easy. Well, I'm going to try it anyway and build my confidence, so I'm going to stick with it. And then I'm going to try another book when I'm done. The 2 says it's still a good choice. That means it's just right if you miss 2 words on the page. Okay? If you miss 3 words, that's where it gets kind of tricky. That's where you might need some help. And if you do find yourself missing 3 words on a page and it's a longer text, then I would just keep trying because you know what? It might be where you're kind of in between levels. So it's either too hard, getting too hard, or it's just right if you miss 3. I like to challenge myself and try to do the number. If I miss 3, I try to read the book. I just try and I put effort for it. But if I turn the page and I'm start seeing that, I missed 4, then I might abandon the book and put it down and try a different book. But if I'm seeing that it's maybe 2 or 3 words I'm missing, it's probably just right. If I'm missing 0 or 1, then that means it's probably too easy. 1, I can do those still because, you know what, that builds my confidence and it might be just right independently. Now, when you're getting into 4 and 5 words that you're starting to miss, that's where it's number 4, tough to read, and number 5, way too hard. When I'm getting into 4 or 5 words I'm missing, then I start getting frustrated and I'm like, then I'm kind of losing the love for reading. And we don't want you to do that when you're reading independently. We want you to love reading. We want it to be kind of quick. We want you to have confidence. We want you to enjoy it. So 4 and 5 means way too hard. I'm going to abandon that book. Abandon means leave the book and choose a different one. That's how the 5-finger rule happens. So I'm going to start off reading my first book. And I want you to pay attention to print for a minute. Because sometimes print is an indication of reading levels. And if I look at the first print here, it's very large. If I look at the second print, it's not as large, so this one probably might be easier. The text might be a little smaller. There might be more words on the page. And then if I look at the third one, wow, that looks a lot smaller yet. This one looks like it might be the hardest. So I'm going to start with this nighttime. And I'm going to try reading this book. And I want you to count as I miss words with me. So let's begin. Nighttime. Oh, this looks really good. Nighttime. And I always look at the picture before I start reading. The horse is in the stable. The pig is in the sty. Uh-oh. That was so easy for me. I'm not missing any words, even on the first page, but I'm really checking on the second to see, and I'm still not missing any words. I've read 2 pages. That tells me this book is way too easy. Would you agree? If I'm reading it that fast, watch me again. I'm going to turn the page. The owl is in the tree. Have I missed any words? 0 words. The first page I missed 0. I had 0. And I'm checking again, 0. That means that I'm going to abandon this book because really, it's not going to help me read if it's way too easy. So I'm going to try a different book. I'm going to go for this book. It's called Along Comes Jake. Wow, I didn't miss any on the title. So I'm going to pick this page, the first page, and see how it feels. Ben Annie with the bed. How many did I miss on that? I missed this word, helps. I missed it once. So that means it might be too easy or it might be just right. But I want to check and make sure, so I'm going to try one more page. Annie helps Dad. Ooh. Wit. The garden. I missed one. So you know what? I'm going to stick with this book because this could be just right. And I'm getting stumped a little bit. And it might be too easy, but I'm really stuck on each word on each page that I'm going to just try to read it to build my confidence. So this is probably one I'm going to stick with. It's being almost just right. Okay, so this is a book that I would stick with at my table. And I would read all the way through it. And when we always choose books, we don't read it one time in Miss Mulligan's world. We read books 2 to 3 times. We do repeated readings. So I'm going to stick with this book. And I'm going to read it 2 to 3 times. And I'm going to see what happens in my story. And I wonder what Jake's up to. So I'm going to keep that wondering, knowing that I'm going to start over and now read it, now that I know it's just right. Now I'm going to try this book. It's called Bubble. I'm not sure what this word is, but I'm going to go ahead and do the 5-finger rule. Even though I missed the title, it's not going to discourage me from trying. I'm still going to try it. Because the rule is we got to pick a page. And we got to find out and count how many words we miss. So I'm going to try it again. Bubble, and I can't remember the title, but I'm going to go to the first page. And I'm looking at the picture before I read to help me generate what those words might be. I see. Monkey. Crocodile. Bubble gum. And he said, you can ch. I don't know what that says. Ch. Uh-oh, I've missed 5 already. The rule is if you miss 5, it's what? Can you yell it out at home? Too hard. I don't know the EW phoneme yet. I'm not there yet, but I'll get there. But guess what? I might want to choose a different book, but I'm going to go back and think about this book and keep it in the back of my head and say, oh, I really want to read this book, but not yet. But I'll get there someday. I might try it in winter because I might have the EW phoneme down by then. Ooh, cha, ooh. And I might try it when I learn those different phonics or phonemes that my teacher teaches me. So I know that this one is way too hard because I missed 5 on one page. I'm not even going to progress. Once I hit 5, I abandon the book and I find a book that's just right. And once I find the just right book, then I know that I've got a book that I can read 2 or 3 times. Boys and girls, one of the things that Miss Mulligan has learned as a teacher, just watching kids over 25 years, I learn a lot, not just in college, but I learn by watching children. And when I watch children and I see that they're independently reading a book that feels right and that they're confident and successful, they're going to be like enjoying it more. And that's the whole name of the game. We want you to really enjoy books. If you're trudging through a book that's way too hard, you're not going to find that fun. You're going to use those type of books when you're working with your teachers in guided reading groups where they can help you with that. So remember, 0 words, too easy. 1, 2 words, just right. 3 might be just right, but it might be a little too hard. But if you want to try it and try to see if you can challenge yourself with the 3, you could. Okay? 4 and 5, those are 2 hard books. Get in your comfort zone. Get in your just right zone. Remember, reading is supposed to be fun. I love to read when I can read it and I can understand what's going on. And one more thing, when you're reading and you get stuck on a word, your job as a reader is to go all the way back and reread. Have a good day, boys and girls. Bye-bye.